Now, what did I say? Several times last week in any video I put out, in Legally Speaking number 13, in Jay's Welcome to the Rebellion episode on Saturday afternoon during the No Kings protest. What did I say? And what have I been saying for weeks? That Gavin Newsom's attempt to gain political points against Donald Trump was going to come back and bite them all in the ass. And here it is, guys. Here is the proof. The Ninth Circuit just ruled that the National Guard can be deployed to Portland and that they don't have to be deployed under the Insurrection Act. Now, I did say that I thought that Portland and Chicago were going to get bad enough this weekend during the No Kings protest that he would be able to use the Insurrection Act. But from what I've been able to see, it didn't get as bad as I thought it would. And honestly, thank God. I'm very glad it did not get that bad. But we can see in their ruling, in the Court of Appeals ruling for the Ninth Circuit. Now, this is the same circuit that California lies in, the same circuit that heard the cases from California and Gavin Newsom in the beginning of the year, back in June. They even cited the case. At the end of the first paragraph, they cite that the evidence that the president relies on reflects a, quote, colorable assessment of the facts and law within a range of honest judgment. Newsom v. Trump, Ninth Circuit, 2025. So what they're saying is, as long as the president is honestly believing that they cannot, the federal government cannot enforce the law and order with the forces that they have available at their command, they can call up the National Guard. It's very clear that 10 USC section 124063, which is the one that they cite here and is the basis for the victory that Trump had in California. It authorizes the federalization of the National Guard when, quote, the president is unable with the regular forces to execute the laws of the United States. Now, if he's able to sit there and get everything he needs done, if he's able to do all the arrests, if the ICE agents aren't being terrorized, if things aren't being thrown at them, then none of this happens. But because the citizens of Portland and Chicago continue to cause mischief, continue to harass these agents, continue to put the needs and goods of illegal migrants above that of the rest of the American citizen, even in just the ones in their own city, Donald Trump has full power to call up the National Guard and have them in place. Now, the question is going to be just how involved is he going to try to get the National Guard? I would try to keep it as close to how you did it in LA. So I would keep them there close to the buildings, close to federal property. Maybe here and there they ride out with agents to help protect them. But I would make sure it's very clear that they are not police. If you start putting badges and start giving them police body armor, I mean, they'll have their own body armor, of course. But if you start giving them, if you start intermixing them, let's say, then you run the risk of Portland being able to sue again, claiming that you are using federal troops, because that's what they'll become, that you're using federal troops as police. And until you triggered the Insurrection Act, it could be a violation of the Posse Comitatus Act. Now, all of this is very fluid. I wouldn't be super surprised if Portland and Oregon appealed to the Supreme Court. I still think it would be a dumb idea because right now, this doesn't affect Chicago. Chicago is not in the Ninth Circuit. The Court of Appeals in Chicago doesn't have to listen to the Ninth Circuit. They can, but they don't have to. Now, if they let this continue, then if they get this up to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court decides absolutely the president going to do X, Y, and Z with the National Guards in the different states, then you have federalized the rule. You've made it a national rule now. And I think that would be a very bad decision for Democrats. Honestly, it would allow Trump a whole lot of power that in some cases I don't really think he needs. I don't think there's any reason to just call it National Guards. I think in these couple cases that we've had, it's been very clear that there have been very big issues. But there's also, we're talking about 200 National Guardsmen here. We're not talking about 3,000 soldiers. It's very clear from the videos we've seen and from the videos that we've seen that are actually true, not the videos that like the Democrats tried to show of peacefulness and large groups just marching like they did over the weekend. It's very clear that there is an actual fear of physical harm out there for these ICE agents. So calling up a small amount of National Guardsmen to act as I would say bodyguards for these ICE agents, I think is a smart idea. They need to feel both protected, but they also need they need to know that President Trump has their back. And I think in general they know that. But seeing him fight so hard to protect both them and protect these cities, I've said it before, Chicago was a crown jewel. Chicago was beautiful. Detroit was the richest city on the planet 60 years ago. We can't let that stuff just completely dissolve. We need to bring it back. And the best way to do that is to get the people who shouldn't be in this country out. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me over on Twitter at KeysAdvisors_. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.